What is going on, everybody? You are watching Spectre React, your favorite channel for reviews, reactions, and theories. And today we're reviewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 2, titled The Star Spangled Man.
So the Star Spangled Man in question is John Walker, who we saw at the end of the last episode. And this episode picks up right when John Walker is going to this sort of promotional football game and he's high-fiving everybody. He's having a great time, which is kind of like the opposite of what Steve Rogers would do. He didn't like the promotional stuff as much.
Yeah, similar to Steve Rogers, they give him a rollout. They give him a whole sense of like the cap is back. That was on the billboards, but he loves it, and he's clearly not Captain America, and they make that very clear because everything that Captain America stands for is different with John Walker. For example, Bucky says, "Have you ever fallen on a grenade?" And he says that he has, but then again, he has a loophole because his helmet is reinforced somehow, which makes sure he doesn't die, and he's jumped on a grenade. That's his justification. He's not accepting at all, unlike Cap. Cap was super accepting to everybody. He refers to Falcon as Cap's wingman and keeps referring to himself as the government.
Yeah. And I think this guy, like, he wants the respect that Captain America received, but he's not willing to make the same sacrifices, you know?
Definitely, definitely. All right, so we do finally get the flag smashers in here. The first scene that we see from the trailers finally in here is that whole plane jumping scene. I was really happy to see that. And they also have the truck scene where they get into that great action piece. We didn't know earlier that John Walker and Battlestar are going to join into that fight, but now we see them all. I got to say, John Walker, hate him as much as you want, but he's pretty handy with that shield.
100%, yeah.
He's good at it, and they still get their asses kicked by these super soldier group, which is now confirmed because Bucky says so. Um, I'm glad that they have a little bit more of a callback as well. Uh, Battlestar is John Walker's partner not only in this but also in the comics. Bucky clearly does not like these two and refuses to talk to them much, and I guess he has a good reason for that too.
Yeah, so after this, Bucky takes Sam to go see Isaiah Bradley, who's a character from the comics with a pretty dark history, and we get some references to that here.
Yeah, the history of the serum is pretty bad. The only success was Cap. A lot of people try to replicate it, but there was only one pure form. Hulk was one of the test subjects that went wrong, for example, turned big and green instead of the way it was supposed to be. Apparently, after Cap vanished, the government experimented on 300 African people, and Isaiah Bradley was the only one to survive. We also see his grandson, Eli Bradley, who is going to be a big part of the Young Avengers. He's probably going to take over the mantle of Captain America through a blood transfusion with his grandpa. I like also that they're introducing all these Young Avenger characters. We had Quicksilver, Speed and Wiccan in WandaVision. Now we have Eli Bradley. We also find out that Isaiah was locked in prison in the MCU, as he was in the comics, for 30 years while they further experimented on him because they just wanted to know why he succeeded where everybody else failed.
I like that this series shows that superheroes aren't immune to societal problems, and sometimes, their enemies don't include these evil, monstrous villains. Sometimes their enemies can just be racist cops, you know?
Yeah, it's sad to see that even the Avengers have like such a low level of respect with cops, and that he can be so easily racially profiled there. It's actually kind of sad also to see that racism exists in the MCU as well. But I kind of imagine it to be a lot more perfect, but that's unfortunate. I like that it's a callback to Iron Man as well, since the government wasn't very happy with Tony. We see that that's a theme in the MCU, that the government does not mean good all of a sudden, you know? So like even they were when they had a chance to mess with Red Wing, which is Falcon's tech, they took that chance and they made it a tracking device, as opposed to since they tried that with Tony's tech, but Tony's tech was way too advanced. Anytime the government gets the opportunity to intervene or to do something like that, they take it clearly in this.
Yeah, the government recurring theme is they just love taking the super's technologies, you know?
Yeah, because they can't make it themselves.
Exactly. We'll have to see what they do with John Walker, though. Maybe John Walker will get an upgrade to his serum. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a theory that we're going to talk about later about that and how Ross is involved in there, but we'll get to that later. That's for a later time. Anyways, Bucky gets arrested because he misses his court-mandated therapy session, but John Walker steps in to get Bucky released and cancel his therapy. Again, that's just proof of how fake Cap is nothing like Captain America. Cap went against the grain, always doing what's right, and never really pulling rank, but the first thing John Walker wants to do at any point is just pull rank.
Yeah, and the therapist is pretty much a joke, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really helpful at all. We finally do understand Bucky's grievance, though, and why he's so mad about Falcon giving up the shield. Because Steve, at the end of Endgame, chose Falcon. He said that Falcon is the person who's going to become Captain America. He's the only one who has that in him. And Falcon said, nah, it's not for me. So if Steve was wrong about that, what else was Steve wrong about? Steve might have also been wrong about Bucky turning his life around. And that's what's bothering Bucky.
Yeah, it's clear these two have their own demons relating to the late Steve Rogers. But I did think Falcon's justification for not wanting to go along with uh, John Walker was pretty interesting. You know, he said that you guys have all your governmental regulations, and us, we're more like free agents. We're not really restricted by these sorts of things. We don't want to go about following your rules.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess that's all surface though, because in real life, I guess it's just that, he said the shield should go into a museum and they gave it to John Walker. So I guess that's also why Falcon doesn't want to hang out with these guys. When they finally leave their session, Bucky and Falcon get into it with fake Cap and Battlestar. Clearly, fake Captain America has a huge ego. I maintain that he's not a bad guy. He just has a huge ego and he's like my way or the highway kind of guy and very misguided. So he's like, stay out of my way. And I thought it was kind of funny. I think I saw something on the internet too that they were making fun of this. It's like John Walker has literally followed these guys everywhere they go so far. Also, John Walker, stay out of my way. It's like, I don't know. I think you're
Yeah,
kind of
practice what you preach, right?
yeah, exactly. Take your own advice. But anyways, Falcon and the Winter Soldier decide to go see Zemo in prison, and that's where we end out.
So let's talk about our theories for next episode. I think that Zemo is going to be released into Falcon and Bucky's care, but knowing how crafty Zemo is, he's going to find a way to
Oh,
escape.
definitely, 100%. Also, we're gonna see Zemo with the mask, like we've seen. Uh, U.S. Agent, I think, is gonna die. That's
Before he's going to get his name U.S. Agent, though,
Yes, he
right?
is going to get his name, hopefully U.S. Agent. But the only reason U.S. Agent was called U.S. Agent in the comics and isn't here was because Cap was still Cap in those comics, so it wouldn't make sense. But I think U.S. Agent is gonna die by the end of this series. It's a ballsy theory. But I just don't see him and his ego stepping down for Falcon. Ross will somehow get involved. I spoke about that earlier. I think Ross is gonna be in here and the Flag Smashers arc will be more explored because we did see that there was someone who texted the girl. I forget her name. Do you remember her name?
Carly Morgenthau.
Carly Morgenthau. She got a text from somebody saying that in a very Liam Neeson fashion of "I will find you and I will kill you." So I think there's another leader who was supposed to get that, the serum that she got, and is not happy about it.
What if that person is John Walker?
Yeah, honestly, it could be. Anyways, as always, let me know what you thought of this episode down below and drop your own theories in the comments below. That's all we got for you right now. See ya.